Welcome to Daily Revelations. I'm so glad that you're joining me on this journey. And today we are continuing, gone up through Genesis. We're in Exodus, and I'm settling on Exodus 7 today. And yesterday we were talking about how God kind of shakes things out when he calls us to do something so that we come to him empty-handed. Why? Why does he do that? Shouldn't we be bringing stuff to the table to be used? Well, oftentimes when we do that, the things that we bring to the table will bring honor to us. And that's not what God's about. He's about his plan and his honor. And the most important thing is when he works his will, all of the trapdoors that can be used by the enemy are sealed shut. And that is what God was pointing out to Moses in Exodus 7, is we need to get to the bottom of what you can offer. And in Exodus 6, he gets to the bottom where all Moses can offer him is, well, the people have left me and I have nothing left to give. I'm at the bottom of the pit. How are you going to use me for anything? And God opens Exodus 7 by saying this. See, now that has happened, I will make you as a god to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron shall be your prophet. This is the plan. And this is how it's going to go. You see, Pharaoh, as his worldview, was a god himself. He felt there was nothing that could take him down. And that arrogance is what God was going to use against him. But in his arrogance, God does something so profound, is he makes Moses, this man who now looks like he can do nothing in front of Pharaoh, as the one that's going to defeat him. God was going to defeat him through Moses. But yet, because of Moses's lack of everything, it was going to make the defeat of Pharaoh seem even more destructive to him. And all of the gods that Pharaoh idolized, he was going to take down one by one. And the last one he took down was himself. And we see that through the plagues. And I'll probably be talking about that tomorrow. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. But that's what the next chapters and I'll be reading through are going to be going through. Because each of the plagues basically shows that this God has nothing to hold up to God himself. And it is through Moses, this most useless man in the eyes of Pharaoh, that this is going to happen. So let's take a look at this from our perspective. What does God do in our lives to take us down so that our own strengths cannot be usable? Because then when people look at what God does through us, all they're going to see is God. That's awfully humbling. Yet, Scripture tells us time and time again that when we humble ourselves, God will exalt us. I wanted to read some of those. In James 4:10, it says, "Humble yourselves in the presence of the Lord, and he will exalt you." In Luke 1:52, when Mary is greeting Elizabeth, she says, "He has brought down rulers from their thrones and exalted those who are humble." And Job 5:11 says this, "He sets on high those who are lowly, those who mourn are lifted up to safety." We are most effective when God brings us low. And we allow him to use us from those knocked down places to give glory to his name. Because it is only when we can bring nothing to the table that we are most useful to his plans, because they have no trapdoors. When we bring our stuff, we open up doors to Satan to knock us down, because our strengths are based on human perspectives, and they will always fail, because that spiritual battle that's going on, God sees every out. And he knows how Satan can use what we bring against us. And so for victory to happen, we have to let go of those things. We have to let God fight the battle. And we have to expose our uselessness, as Moses finally got to, saying, you know what? These people have turned against me and I can't talk. That's all he brought to the table. And they weren't good things in the eyes of man. But in the eyes of God, he realized at that point, now we're ready to start the battle because you have let go of everything on your side. Oof. Okay, I need to learn this lesson. And I'm sure a lot of you do too. Let's let go of the stuff that we think we can bring to the table, God, and let him exalt us in his time with his purposes so that the battle may be won. Not so that we can go into round 2 and 3 and 4 and be extremely tired because we keep trying to do it on our own. So, there's my encouragement for you today. Hope you're having an awesome Sunday if you're watching me on Sunday. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this just little peek into daily revelations and what Exodus 7 has to teach us about how God will exalt us in due time. I'll see you again tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for joining me on Daily Revelations.